Hi guys, now we are going to see the topic about the nested structures. See, what is nested structures? See, one structure can be nested with another structure, that is the nested structure. See, structure within the structure is known as the nested structure. We can create the more than one structure and we can link that structure, that is known as the nested structure. So that here we can create the complex data type. By using this nested structures, we can create the complex data type. See here, first structure, this is the keyword. Next here, structure name. Example, str1. The structure name is str1. Here some structure members. Next here structure 2. Here also we can create structure member. Here we can create this structure variable as the structure member. So here variable for this structure 1, here itself we can create. See, for example, struct. Next, this structure name is str1. For this I am creating the structure variable s1, so that, see here, this structure str1 is nested here. So structure within the structure. Structure 1 is within the structure 2. Here this member, structure members, it can be any type, data type. For example, here integer, character, like that. We can create any data type structure members. See here, in same way, built-in data types we can create. That is integer, character, float, these things and all built-in data types. Here this structure str1, this is the user defined data type. See, so that we can create the structure variable within this structure itself. See here, suppose in this structure, if it is integer, I can give the some numbers. If it is character, I can give some alphabets. Suppose if it is float, then I can give some floating values. In same way, here this s1 also the variable. Here this is also a member. Here what type of data we can give here? Here for s1 variable I can give the data, what data assigned here, that kind of data I can give here. See, for example, here if I am creating in the structure member integer a and float b, so that here if I am creating integer x, next character y, so that in outside, suppose if I am creating the structure variable for str2, for example, let us keep it like this, stru struct. Next here str2, structure 2. For the structure 2, if I am creating the variable s2, so that here in s2, what are the data types? Integer data type, so that I can store number for the x. Next character, so here I can store a single letter for y. Same way here s1. In s1, what type of data I can store? This is user defined data. I had already defined for this s1, str1, the structure I had created, so that in this structure what are the datas I had mentioned, that kind of data I can store for this variable s1. Here for this structure I can store totally two types of data types, that is, one is integer and float type of data I can store here. So for this I can store integer and I had defined, this is the user defined aggregate data type or user defined data type. We can define our own data type and we can store the values for that data type. So this is the nested structure syntax here. Say this S2, it will store like this in this memory. Here very first this byte, this is integer data type, so 4 byte. Next one character data type, this is the single byte. Next one here, inside this I am telling about this S2, this is the S2. In the S2 here one integer data type, that is X. Next character data type single byte is for Y. Next here user defined data type, this type is here I had created the another one structure variable, that is S1. For this S1 here the memory will be allocated because this is structure member, user defined one. For this S1 here totally inside how much data types were there? Totally two different types of data types. One is integer and another one is float. See here for integer, that is A, so here it will occupy 4 byte. Next for this float B, for this also float data type also it will occupy up to 4 byte. This is A, this is B. This S2, this structure variable will be aligned like this. See one thing important is here. See first now let us see how to store the values for the structure member. See here structure 2, for this I had created the structure variable as S2. Suppose if I want to give the data for this X, then I can simply give like this S2, here only the single dot operator, S2 dot X is equal to 10. Then here we can store the data 10 for this X. See here now let us take this S1. This S1 is what? This is the structure variable of this str1. Suppose here by help of this structure variable, that is outer structure variable, if I want to give the some data or if I want to store some data to this S1, then here I need to give two dot operator. The dot operator were used twice here. Say here for example here, if I want to store this value for A, then first S2, next dot, after that inside this structure S2, this structure variable name is S1, next dot, inside this structure variable S1, here I am going to store the value for A. So here A is equal to, suppose if I am giving 100, then the 100 will be stored to this structure member, first structure member. So in the nested type, if we want to store the value, we should use this dot operator two times. First one structure variable, outer structure variable, then inner structure variable. After that, in that inner structure variable, the structure members we should mention like this. See now let us see this simple example here. Here I am going to create the two structure. First structure name is course detail structure. Second structure name is staff details structures. So that here we are going to store the staff and the course details by help of this nested structures. For subject, here I am declaring it as SUBJ, subject. Here no space, I am writing here. Here what is the subject name? Subject name is SUBJ. So here we should give input for SUBJ. So here also subject SUBJ. See here, this is first structure. First structure name is course. Second structure, this name is staff. Here wide main. I am opening this brace here and closing the brace here. See, in the first structure here I am having the two field. That is the first one character data type, that is subject name. Second, here this is integer data type, duration for that subject. Next here staff details. Here first staff ID, next staff name. After that here I had created the structure variable for this first structure. This is structure within structure. Here this is the nested structure. Here this structure for the structure course, here I had created the structure variable as C. After that here I had closed for each and every structure is closed with semicolon. Next for this structure I have closed here semicolon. Next here wide main. Here in the main part I am creating the structure variable for this second structure, that is this staff. So here structure, the structure name is staff. For this structure staff I had created the structure variable S. So from here I am getting the details for these two structures. See, first structure printf enter the staff ID. Here I am giving the input for the ID. See, note here, this is within this staff, this ID. So simply I am using only single dot operator. By using this S, I am using dot operator. Next here structure member, S dot inside this S ID. In same way for here I am getting the input for staff name. Here also the single operator only, single dot operator, S dot, because within this S here S name is there. So here S dot S name. Next here now I am getting the subject which handled by that staff. So where is that subject? That is, the subject is in the structure course. It is in the outside of this structure, that is course. Here now I need to store the values for the subject inside the course. So here itself second structure I had created the structure variable for this course. This structure variable name is C. So here I need dot operator twice. First one for this S, next here S dot. For this course I had created the structure variable as C. So S dot C dot inside this C, that is inside the course, this structure member subject were there. So here I had declared the operator twice. First the structure variable name, outer structure variable name S. Next here inside here I had created the structure variable as C. So S dot C dot inside this course subject. So here I had mentioned the SUBJ. For subject I had declared the variable name as SUBJ. So first structure variable name dot, next second structure variable name dot, after that the second structure members. See, in same way here enter the course duration in months, enter the duration in months. For the course what we have entered, for that course how much month it require to complete that course. For that duration here I am telling to give the input. So here first one %d, after that, so this is integer data type, the duration is, so that I have given it as format specifier as %d. Next in same way as it is the integer data type, here use this address, that is ampersand, here ampersand of S. For this also duration is in where inner structure. So here first structure variable name S, second structure variable name is C. Inside that second structure this structure member duration is there. I am telling to store the value for that duration. Here in same way for printing also, after getting the input to the each and every structure member, now I am telling to print that. So here at very first after getting the input details, here this message will be printed as details. Next after the details, the staff ID, staff name and the subject name and course duration will be displayed. So here this is the nested structure within this structure. Two structure I had created and I had giving the input for this two structure, and I am displaying the details what I had given input for the two structures, that will be displayed here. One thing here you should remember, here if it is inner structure then here we should use this dot operator twice. Otherwise normally we can give single dot operator and we can store the value. Now let us see the output here. Here at very first it will ask enter the staff ID. Suppose if you are giving staff ID as 1, then this 1 will be stored to where? To the structure staff. For the staff I had created the variable as S. Here I enter the staff ID. Here I am getting the input for S dot ID. So here for this structure, this ID, integer ID I have declared, this 1 will be stored to this ID. For this variable, this 1 will be stored, S dot ID. Next here I am telling to print enter the staff name. It will show the message enter the staff name. Here what are the data? This is the string data. So here I have given it as %s. Next here S dot S name. So the data given here it will be stored to where? S dot S name. That is to this variable the given input will be stored. See, suppose if you are giving Balaji, then this string Balaji will stored to where? Here S dot S name. Next here it will ask enter the subject. Suppose if you are giving the subject C++, then this subject will be stored to where? here, that is the in the course structure. So here in S, inside I had created the structure variable C. Next, in that course I am storing the subject. The subject here I have declared the structure member SUBJ for the subject. So this will be stored to the C++, the string which I had given in the keyboard, that will be stored to subject. Next here enter the duration in month. See, suppose if I am giving 2, then this data 2 will be stored to where? S dot C dot here duration. So this 2 will be stored to duration. For here, see, for each and every, for this record, let us see, for each and every field, this one will be stored to S dot ID, then this name is stored to S dot S name, here C++, here S dot C dot, this is the structure within structure, S dot C dot subject, the C++. In same way here, this 2, it will be stored to where S dot in the course duration. I had mentioned the structure member. For that structure member, this 2 will be stored. So this and all getting the input. Next here, up to this I had given the input. Next from here to here, I am telling to print the output. What the data we had given in the keyboard, what the data that structure members collected, that data will be displayed here. Here I am telling to print the details. After that here ID is equal to course duration. So this will be printed. This is the output. First ID, staff ID 1, staff name Balaji, subject handled, that is C++, duration of this course is 2 months. So the nested structures can be stored and retrieved in this way. See, here we can store only the single record. One record we can store here. Suppose if we want to store multiple records, then we can use the array. We can use array for this structure staff. See, for declaring array, by help of this array we can use the subscript and give the subscript value. Depending upon what the value we had given in the subscript, up to that the records can be stored. See here, for example, if we take this one for the staff, how many, for each and every record it has how many field? Here first field, that is integer ID, second field character, staff name, and third field here course, that is it contains subject and duration for that subject. Totally 4 field. This is 4 field is known as the record. The collection of field is a record. So here by normally if you create the structure variable as like this, here we can store only the one record only. Suppose if you want to store more than one staff details, there by help of this array only we can store more than one records. So here for example, let us assume this one. Here if I am declaring here array variable, here first subscript, here suppose if I am giving 5, then I can store up to how many records? 5 records I can store. See here also same way. Suppose if we need to store more than one value, we can use loop. By help of this loop we can store the more than one values. So here totally maximum I can store up to 5 records. So suppose if we want to store the 5 records, then we should use one for loop, any one of the loop. By help of this loop we can store the multiple records. For example, let us take one for loop. See, very simple. Here we should use one loop, for loop here, for storing the multiple records. Here open brace. After that I should create the structure variable, for this step. What is the syntax? First, after the brace, struct, this is the keyword. Next structure name is staff. For this staff I have declared the structure variable as yes. If we want array of records, if we want to store more than one records, then we should use array here. For this subscript value, suppose if I am giving 5, then I can store up to 5 records. Next here I should use the for loop. By help of this for loop we can store multiple records. Say here for an integer. For integer I have declared the variable in the loop itself. Here for integer I is equal to 0, I is lesser than 5. Next I plus plus. After that here open brace. Next here for each and every times when I am getting the yes, see normally if we create the variable as yes, then here it occupies only single record. Here I am telling 5 records, so yes of 5. So this yes it will hold in the memory, it will hold one integer value, one this character. Next in this course here subject and duration, this is one record, this yes hold. Here if you are declaring it as array, then it has how many set? Totally 5 records. See, this position is array of 0th position, subscript to 0th position, that is yes of 0th position, yes of first position, and yes of 4th position. As it start from 0 to 4, totally 5 records were allocated for this yes. So here yes of 5. For each and every time when we are storing the value or when we are retrieving the value, we should mention this subscript value. By help of this subscript only, at that particular position what the data we are giving, that will be stored. Suppose if you want to retrieve in same way, in that subscript value which position we are telling, in that subscript value, that particular position details can be fetched and it will be displayed in the display screen. So here for each and every time when we are giving the input, you should mention this subscript value also. So here first enter the ID. Here you should give, without forget you should give this subscript value, that is yes of ith position. The I will be position from 0 to 4. For each and every iteration For each and every iteration, it will store one record. If the iteration value is 0, 4 field will be, the first record will be stored. When I is equal to 1, at that time second record, like that here 5 records can be stored. Here next ampersand s of I dot, here I am going to give the ID. In same way, second one, enter the staff name. For this also we should use the subscript value. We should give the subscript value for store the record at that position. Now percentage s is for store the string value. Here I am storing the s of I dot, here s name. In same way, for here, see, this is structure within this structure. Here to this s of ith position, here dot, this name, course name is C, s of I dot C dot, next here subject. See, here I had created the array for this s. So here s dot, for each and every location, this inside this subject and the duration, this is the subject and duration is, this is the inner structure, structure within the structure. This structure, outer structure, this one inner structure. Here for this structure I had given the structure name as C. Here this is C. So s of ith value, if it is 0, s of 0, then in that C, for the structure variable C, I am telling to store the subject and duration. See, next in same way, for the duration also, for the duration I have declared it as variable duration. Next, while printing the data inside the structure member, for that also we should use loop. By help of the for loop we can print the data. Next, here I am using one for loop for displaying the data inside the structure members. Here for integer here one thing, for printing the output I have created one for loop. See, this for loop is used for printing the output. This for loop is used for getting the input. For getting more than one input, 5 input, by help of this loop I am getting the storing the more than one inputs for more than one records, let us say like this. For this printing the more than one records, here I am using another one for loop. Here for input, here I used the for loop. Now I need to close the for loop. Where the input I had finished, there I should close the for loop. So here up to this I am getting the input. So here the for loop is closed here. See, in same way here for loop I had used here for each and every time before printing we should mention the location. Here I need to close this loop, for loop. Open and close, after that give HCH. See, this for loop here it is closed here. Second for loop, the open brace starting here and ending here. See, now previously we had seen about how to give the single record. Here in this nested structure I had created the array. So for each and every time when we are getting the input and we are displaying the output, we should specify that particular array location. See, for example, here let us see one by one. In the output, at very first the structure variable will be created for this staff. For this is array structure variable. So here S is the array variable. For this array variable totally five records. Here this S, it contains one integer, that is ID, integer data type. Next one character, this is S name, but data type character data type S name. Next one here structure, this is also a structure. So this is one structure. The structure variable name is I had created as C. So the structure variable name is C. The outer structure variable name is S. This is S. This is inner structure variable C. So here for this C also totally one integer data type and another one character, that is used for storing subject name and duration. So here subject name and duration. See, this structure member used to store ID, this structure number staff name, inside this structure number C it holds subject and duration. Say this is array, I have declared it as 5. So this one subscript s of at 0th position, s of first position, s of second position up to s of fourth position. Here totally these positions were allocated for s, so that only here we had created it as s of 5. This s is created as s of 5. So each and every location it have same this one is s of 0, s of first, second, third position, fourth position. See here in the structure I had created the structure variable as s of 5. So the memory will be allocated for the structure variable here. Totally maximum 5 records we can store here. Next I had used one for loop. Here for each and every time the for loop, you know, from initial value to up to the given condition, the iteration will be repeated, so that this is I value. I will be at starting initial value is 0, from 0 to up to condition is lesser than 5, that is 0 to 4. Lesser than 5 means up to 4. This for loop will be executed. For each and every iteration I will get the input for structure variable s of I, that is when I is equal to 0, for s of 0th position I can get the input for this block. Here it will get the input for first ID, staff ID, next one staff name, after that subject, after that duration. Say when I is equal to 0 at s of ith position, these and all s of ith position. For each and every time I am getting input for s of ith position. So when I value will be incremented for each and every iteration. At very first initial value I value is 0, it will check the condition, 0 is lesser than 5, so the condition is true. Once the condition is true, then inside the for loop every statement will be executed. See, inside the for loop just I am telling to give input for each and every structure member, that is the statement. Before getting input I am telling to print enter that particular structure member, that message will be displayed. After that what value you had given, that will be stored to that particular members. So here when I is equal to 0, at very first here this data's s of 0th position, now I am getting the input, that is for this position. Here enter the staff ID, it will for each and every time it will ask this one. these messages will be printed for each and every iteration. See, when I is equal to 0, it will ask, here this condition is true, here I am telling to print the, enter the staff ID. Suppose if you are giving the staff ID as 1, then this 1 will be stored to where? Here, this is the message, printf enter the staff ID, this statement. Second statement, by help of the scanf, what are the data you are giving? Suppose if I am giving it as 1 in keyboard, that 1 will be stored to where? S of I dot ID. Now I value is what? 0. So S of here 0 dot ID. At S of 0 dot ID, what data I had given, that will be stored. So 1 will be stored to this location. That is the 0th location, S of 0 dot ID. So S of 0 dot ID, this will be stored as 1. Next here it will ask, after getting the input that for the ID, staff ID, it will ask enter the staff name. See, suppose if you are giving Balaji, then this name, staff name will be stored to where? Here by in this scanf, I am getting this input to S of I dot S name. So I value is now 0 only. So S of 0 dot S name. So S of 0 dot S name, what the name given in the keyboard, that name will be stored to this member, structure member. So here Balaji will be stored here. Next, after that, here it will ask printf enter the subject, so that this message will be displayed as enter the subject. After that, here in this scanf, I am giving the input in the keyboard, what the value you are given, that value will be stored to S of I dot C dot subject. So here you see, here this is the inner. Here I had created another one structure variable name. This structure variable name is outer structure. Here S of I, that is S of 0 dot C. So here S of 0 dot C, this C is the inner structure. So inside that structure C, structure variable C, I am telling to store the given input by the keyboard to subject. So suppose if I am giving it as C++, then the subject, this string will be stored to where? S of 0 dot, next here C dot subject. So this C++ will be stored here. See, this member is within where? S. So here declaring it as S dot ID. Next this one S dot name, S dot ID, S dot name. But these two members, subject and duration, that is inside the course. So here we are declaring it as S dot, next for course we have declared it as C, structure variable name has declared it as C. So S dot C dot subject. So for this also S dot C dot duration. So for structure within structure, we are using the two operator, that is two dot operator. Next here enter the duration in months. Suppose if you are giving here it as 2 months, then here it will store as 2. So these data will be stored in the memory in this order. First one S of 0 dot ID, next S of 0 dot name, and S 0th location another structure within structure, another structure C, structure variable. For this I had stored the subject and duration. See, next after completing this, the first iteration, next the I will be incremented here. This is the, for each and every time after completing the iteration, the I value will be incremented and it will check the condition. If condition true, again it will go inside. If the condition false, then it will come outside of the for loop. So here when will be the condition true? From 0 to 4th position the condition will be true. 1 will be incremented to 2, 2 will be incremented to 3, in similar way up to 4. Next once 4 incremented to 5, then here the condition is false, so it come outside and it will come to this second loop. Say in similar way, suppose This is first position, second position, third position, after that fourth position. Say, suppose if you are giving number 2, suppose if you are giving the data for the first location, staff ID 2, staff name Santosh, enter the subject. Subject is Oracle, then duration of the month, if you are giving it as 3, then this record will be stored here like this. S of for the first location, here staff ID 2, next here Oracle, number of month 3, in similar way. Then here it will store the 2 here, next staff name Santosh, next here subject Oracle, number of months 3 month. Next for it will get the value for this second location. Suppose if you are storing here staff ID 3, next staff name, here the staff ID is 3, next staff name is Javid, next here the subject is QTP, testing QTP, next number of month, that is duration in month is 2. Next S of here for the third location, if you are giving the 3 and if you are giving it as load runner, here same staff 3, here Javid, here subject name is load runner, next duration is here 1 month. Next for the last location, S of fourth is the last location. Suppose if you are giving the staff ID as 4, staff ID next here for this staff ID 4, next staff name Vasavi Priya, next the subject name is manual testing and duration is 1 month. By help of this structure variable array, we can store the multiple records. See, in same way this for loop is used for the getting the input. Suppose after getting the input, here if you want to print the record, for this also here I am using the for loop. Here I had used it as j, so here the variable should use it as j. See, for S of here I have declared the variable j is equal to 0, j is lesser than 5 and j plus plus. So this loop is used for printing the output. What the data we had given inside, that data will be printed. So for each and every location S of 0, this record stored for S of 1, for S of 2, S of 3 and S of 4. Totally these 5 records were stored here. Suppose next in this loop I am telling to print what the data I had stored, that data will be printed here. See, here I had used the variable j. This j, this also start from 0 to up to, what is the condition, lesser than 5 means up to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. This for each and every iteration the j value will be incremented. See, for that only here we are using that increment operator. For each and every time, for very first the initial value 0, it will check the condition. 0 is lesser than 5. So inside, if the condition is true, inside the for loop, each and every statement will be executed. See, the statement I had telling to just print that particular location, what data input I had given, that particular input I am telling to print. So here once it is 4, this is the last record. After the 4, the 5 will, j value will be 5. Now it will check the condition once it is false, then it will come outside of the loop. So this for loop is work in this way. Here it is used for each and every time it will print that particular location, what the data is there, that data will be printed. So see, for first location here s of, I am telling to print here s of jth value. Here I am using j. For s of first iteration, s of j will be how much? 0. So s of 0th position, what the data, that will be displayed line by line. Here s of j dot id, that is s of jth value is 0, so s of 0 dot id. What is that id? That id is here 1. Next s of j dot s name, that is j value is now 0. So s of 0th dot s name, what is the value here? Balaji. Next s of 0th position dot c dot subject. So here s of 0th position, here c dot, here inside the structure, inner structure, here this first element, that is first member, subject will be printed. Here what is that subject? 0th location where the subject is C++. Next here duration in same way, s dot s of 0 dot, next here c, in this s of 0th position c, the structure member duration, what is that duration? 2. So the given data will be printed in the similar way. See, in similar way. Next number 2, Santosh Oracle, duration 3. Next staff ID 3, Javid, testing QTP. Number 4, Javid, testing load runner. Here the staff number is number 3. Next ID 4, Vasavi Priya, staff name is Vasavi Priya. Then course handled by, that is manual testing. Next number of month here 1. In this way the record will be displayed.